welcome back to A to B's Books. This week I will be doing a reading vlog. Currently I'm reading two books. The first is Bunny by Mona Awad. I'm reading that as a real physical book. And then the second book is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune, and that's my current audiobook. It's actually due in 4 days and I'm only at 8%, so more than likely I will have to use one of my Audible credits and buy it that way, which is fine. I haven't actually been reading a ton recently. There's been a lot of craziness with all the Taylor Swift concert and everything. So I'm just getting back into reading. It's been about a week since I've read. So tonight is Tuesday, November 19th, I think. And I'm about to start sprints. I have my little kind of corner all set up. I have to put my camera there and I'll turn my light on. And so I'll be reading Bunny on sprints tonight. And then I probably won't be reading or listening to Somewhere Beyond the Sea in the next couple days because I don't have a lot of driving that I'll be doing solo. I may have to pick up my cross stitch to get a bit of audiobook time in. But right now, before stream starts in 15 minutes, I'm gonna go make myself a hot chocolate, get myself settled, and start reading Bunny. Another vlog, another update, making gecko food. So I just read probably just like for an hour on sprints. The first sprint wasn't super effective because I was setting stuff up and then I had a really good like 45 minutes. And then the last sprint, Freya was like asleep on me and I couldn't move my arm to get my book. So I just ended up scrolling on TikTok. But I've made it a little bit further into Bunny and I'm gonna finish the chapter that I'm on because I think like I'm going to find something out that's like happening. This book is very confusing. I feel like I'm taking drugs when I'm reading it. Like it's not like a negative thing. I do have like no idea what's going on and I feel like this book is smarter than me. And I'm not picking up on what I should be picking up, but I'm also enjoying it, like not like a silly goofy time, but like those sorts of vibes where like I'm just rolling with it and whatever happens happens and I'm here for it. I think it's setting like a very interesting picture. I don't like Samantha, but I don't know that she's meant to be very likable. She's not like a bad person or anything. She's just like a bit of a negative Nancy and had like, you know what, she just lacks confidence and you want her to have confidence because she should have confidence. That's why I'm frustrated with her, not for anything else. And the bunnies are like obviously weird. And then the like real life bunnies, why are there so many? What's happening with the bunnies? That's what I think I might find out about. And then Samantha's friendship with Ava, I find unusual and a bit toxic for girlfriendship. So maybe there's a little something more to their friendship on Ava's end, but maybe that's just the way their situation is. That's all good. But I'm looking forward to like finding out what the heck's going on and I'm having fun while doing that. Okay, so the boys' food is made. I'm gonna go put it in and then I'm going to get ready for bed and finish up just that chapter or so to find out what's going on in the attic. But I don't know that I'll be able to talk too much about like what's actually going on in this book, more just like how I'm feeling about it because I really don't want to spoil anything since I think it is like a bit of an odd book that needs to be read versus, I don't know, explained. Like I just don't want to ruin anything. But yeah, so I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. I am going to bingo, so I'm sure you will see a bingo montage next. I 100% forgot to record a little montage at bingo like I usually do. So it's Thursday evening and I've been in a massive TikTok doom scroll. I recently put TikTok back on my phone and it's not for the better. But then Matt and I have just been like watching YouTube and searching fish tanks because I want to look into getting a nano fish tank. That's what I've been doing with my evening. It's 9 o'clock, so I should probably get some reading in. Maybe before bed, I'll get a little bit more of Bunny read. And right now, I'm just being cozy with my girl on the couch. She's so cute. Hey guys, so we are out and about on a bit of a shopping day. So first we're gonna go to HomeSense. We just got back, or we started our day with a Christmas craft fair, and I ended up having a peppermint mocha cake, and now my tummy hurts real bad, so I'm being brave by shopping. And then Matt has a bit of a surprise in for him, because guess what? We are going to Indigo. How does that make you feel? He's shaking the camera no, but the answer is always yes to Indigo. All right, we're gonna go into HomeSense first.
Something in the way of a large insect light. Do you have something like that?
Yeah, we do actually. It's right over here. From our day of shopping, we went to HomeSense, Indigo, and then we ended up going to PetSmart. And yeah, I don't know if you heard Matt, they weren't the best. A lot of their tanks actually were sick, and then they didn't have any live plants. So I'll show you everything I got though. So first, since this is a bookish channel, Matt actually got a book. He's not a huge reader, but he's interested in starting, so he's checking out the Matthew McConaughey book because he saw him on a podcast, thought it sounded interesting. I got this at Indigo. It's just like the cutest puzzle, so I hope to do this through Christmas. And since I'm reading that like high book, I got candles, unscented candles, so that I could put these around my office as well as the living room. And then at Pet Value, I bought an aquarium, and I do plan on making it bioactive. So this is just temporary to get the fish feeling secure with some fake foliage. So that, this. I also got like, that's the substrate I'll be using. And then this will give a clue as to what fish I got, the food. And then here we go. Sorry, my camera died. So there's the sulky baby because she's getting another sibling she didn't want. And this is my new little girly pop. So it's a female betta fish, and it is technically a Dumbo elephant, which is what the like, oh, see, we have a whiny baby. So the Dumbo part, I guess the elephant part also comes from those front fins. And then I plan on, because it's female and a little less aggressive, I plan on getting some nano fish, but I can't fit much else honestly in this because it's a small tank. And I'll get like a cleanup crew of snails and shrimp. But yeah, so we're gonna start building. Okay, so I thought I would just bring you through the steps of how I'm going to make my tank. So first things first, we're going to use some fluval substrate. So I have to clean that, and then we'll get it into the bottom of the tank. Okay, so we've added some of the grass and the first little bit of foliage. This just helps the fish, from my understanding, feel a little more secure. Very mindful, very demure. So we're just adding the last one here, kind of burying it in, and then I'm using this fancy dancy tool, which is very satisfying, I must say. And then I think I'm just gonna have Matt fix this for me. Okay, and so this is the finished tank for today. We've added some water conditioner to make sure that the tap water we put in is safe and ready for the beta. And then we've also kind of created a similar vibe so that to put this guy in, well, you can't see him, her actually. So what we'll do is we'll take some of this water, which is conditioned in our tap water, and put a little in, let her get used to it, take a little more out, put a little more in, and that's kind of our version of floating, since we can't, you know, obviously float this in there. So then she'll go live in there. So that's the next step, and I'll let you know when she's in there. Also, it looks cloudy. It will clear up after probably like 24 hours, right? Matt nods yes. Okay, so this is kind of the final product. She's up there on the right-hand side. I've named her Clara. The reason being her colors kind of reminded me of like the Taylor Swift opening a little. I don't know, in the store they did. She kind of looks a little more purple, honestly, now at home. But anyways, her name's Clara, and she's doing that. So I apologize if it's really dark. I'm trying to live my best high lifestyle. So as you can see, I've got candles beside a flammable, don't tell my mom, more candles. I've got my book nook going, and then I'm using the guys as like more ambient light because you're supposed to create pools of light. So the game plan is for tonight, I actually already have it set up. I've got the Taylor Swift Night 6 in Toronto set up on my computer since my friends are there, so I'll be watching their concert, but I'm gonna read at the same time just because I don't think I can like actually sit for 3.5 hours. So I'm gonna read Bunny, maybe have a cheeky little drink when Taylor comes on, and just have like a really cozy evening. Learn a little bit from my book that I'm reading, which I guess I haven't totally, let me put some lighting on. So I'm gonna do big light and then I'll talk to you. Okay, so I've been reading on top of reading Bunny, I've been reading the little book of Hige. I don't know. I'm gonna listen to like how to pronounce. So I'm only about 25% of the way through. So I figured after daylight savings happened and the nights got longer, I thought, who knows how to deal with this whole winter situation? And I remembered that like the Danish have this thing called hag, or on the book it says hygge, so I'm gonna maybe start calling it hygge. So I thought I'd learn about it to give myself some coping skills for the dreary long nights of winter. And so I've been using less of the big lights and more little lights. I need to, because that's like a big thing. So I need to kind of up my lighting game. That's step number one. Anyway, so that's something I've learned. I find it's actually a very interesting book, and just the book itself is cozy, or should I say hygge? Because hygge is a verb as well as a noun. So yeah, if it's ever been anything that's interested you, I would recommend this book so far. I'll give you a full update when I finish it. But yeah, so that's what my game plan is for tonight. So come along with me, and tomorrow morning, when my tank has kind of cleared up a bit, it's still a little foggy, I'll give you a better kind of update on Clara. She seems to be doing well. She's already eaten, so that's like always a good sign when something eats in their new home. So hopefully she has a good first night in her new house. Good morning. It's actually afternoon. I had a really big sleep in, so it's like morning for me, but afternoon for normal humans. I finished Bunny last night. I actually recorded my thoughts and feelings last night. I was crying, so insert clip of me being a little bit of a mess. I don't know, I just didn't get it, but I did cry at the end, so I feel a little wrecked. And I could cry again. Oh no.
Not a big mess, just a little mess. The overarching thoughts and feelings of this book is that I'm confused and I don't know what to think of this book. I found it, so what I ended up doing after I finished was Googling like, someone explain this book to me please, because I felt like I wasn't getting it. And like, that's a me problem, not like a book problem. So then I ended up on like a Reddit discussion about it and someone explained that their perception of it was that Samantha has, by the way, this might be a spoiler, so please pause now or just skip forward a bit, is that Samantha has schizophrenia. But then other people disagreed with that, and I guess it's like a big discussion on if Samantha does have schizophrenia, then it's like a poor representation of that. So then I wanted to go see the other side of what, you know, if it's not schizophrenia, because to me that did make sense, but like I'm not well versed in any of that. So I wanted to know like the other side of everything. And it was just like kind of what I took away from all that was that Samantha is mentally ill, like I think that is fairly clear. Then after I Googled everything, I went to ChatGPT and like asked like, was Samantha sick? And ChatGPT just said like, yeah, she had mental health issues. Didn't like put a diagnosis to it. When I finally read the word hallucinatory style of writing, that's when it all like, I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I was feeling, because I kept thinking like every time I picked up this book, and I even said it to my friends when we were doing reading sprints and on the breaks, I was like, I feel like I'm on drugs while I'm reading this book. Like it was very disorienting and just like an odd experience. And so hallucinatory, like that makes sense to me. I was like, yes, this finally puts a word to what I was feeling, but I just don't know if this book is good. So I rated it a 3.5 because like, I liked this, like this book had like good things about it and then things where I was like, I freaking hate this book. I just want to be done. Like, I just want to know what's happening. I don't really care about anything else. I just want the answer. And what's funny is, so this is like a book about an author. Samantha is a writer. There were a couple things in this book where it's like, okay, you're writing what I'm feeling about this book. So one of the things is they're in like their workshop, and this isn't about Samantha's writing, it's about one of the other bunnies writing. So this is two bunnies like talking to each other. And it says, whenever I read one of Victoria's vignettes, I always feel so dumb because I can hardly understand them at all. And then I blame myself. I think, Kira, this must just be too brilliant for you to grasp. Surely you must have missed something. Even though there's always been this small voice inside of me that says, what the fuck is this, please? This makes no sense. It goes on, but that's how I feel. I was like, is this book incredible and I'm just not smart enough to pick up on what's going on? Or is this book just bad and not executed properly? I have no idea. I still don't know. And then another thing that like was written and I was like, thank you, this is how I feel about Samantha, was, again, it was like a bunny talking to Samantha. And said, when is she going to be empowered, Samantha? Exercise agency. When is she going to assume responsibility for all of the shit she stirred up? And so like, I get that like Samantha was really mentally ill. So like, there has to be some grace given to her for like some of her actions. But without that knowledge, that really resonated with me in the sense that like, I was like pretty frustrated with Samantha at times where I was like, okay, you're really lonely. Like that to me was her overarching like thing where it was a lot of loneliness. And there's a character throughout the book that reaches out to her and is very clearly wanting to be her friend on top of like Ava, who she has. She like always pushed him away. And I just like never understood because I was like, you have someone very clearly trying to be your friend, but why isn't he good enough for you? So then I was frustrated. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's like beggars can't be choosers, but also like, it wasn't like, oh, just accept anyone's friendship. I'm not saying that. It was more just like, he seemed like genuine and like you had things in common. You liked talking to him. You went to him at parties. So that was frustrating to me where I was like, okay, you have someone who's cool, who wants to be your friend, but he's not good enough for you. And so why is that? And this, I think this book also touches on like societal pressures. So like, because he was like an outsider, like that's why he wasn't good enough. But yeah, I felt her to be very frustrating. But then at the end, like in the last sentence, that's what was making me cry. Like that literally just the last sentence of the book is what made me cry, because it can be interpreted one of two ways, and one of the ways would be really sad. Would I recommend this book to anyone? I think if you enjoy really analyzing books and looking into themes and metaphor and all of that, maybe this would be the book for you, because like you're smarter than me and you could maybe figure it out, or appreciate, not figure it out, like obviously I wasn't lost in this book, but appreciate what's going on versus feeling like, okay, WTF, what happened? I don't know. So whatever, I'm glad I finished the book. It's one off of my TBR, which means I get to take it off. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad I finished the book. It was okay. But like, I'm still thinking about it. I always think when a book sticks with you longer than when you've closed the last page, there's something in it that has merit. Even like for better or for worse, there's something there that's still hitting me. So I don't know, this book deserves some credit, but like it wasn't for me. But anyways, so let me turn you around. So cause little Miss Clara is over there now. And she is over here. She's over here. You can kind of see her, I think. And yeah, she survived the night. So that's always exciting news. It is Sunday, so Matt and I are going over to my parents' house for having takeout Italian, which is exciting. And actually, fun fact, Matt read like half of that book that he bought yesterday. So, and honestly, I think he maybe read more this morning, and he might be close to finishing, which like annoys me because he's such a fast reader and I'm like so slow. Yeah, not much else to say. And just like that, it's the end of the vlog. I really appreciate you hanging out with me this week as I read one of my anticipated books on my TBR, but it didn't turn out how I wanted it to, but that's okay. I'm still happy that I read it, and now I know, I think, what it's about. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next week. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and say hey. Bye.